Okay, students, I hope you are all well and healthy and ready to learn new things. So, my name is Palak Patel. I am working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari, in Civil Engineering Department. I am going to teach you the subject is Design and Reinforced Concrete Structure. Okay, so in this lecture, we will cover loading and building layout. So in this chapter we have so many theories which are covered in the previous lectures. I share a link in the description, you can check it out. Right? So we are starting from the structural layout. So structural layout means we have to provide some naming. We have to provide some naming to our structural plan like a beam, column, slab. For the understand the requirement of the loading and design of the structure. Okay. So we have three types of structural layout. First is column reference scheme, second is grid reference scheme, and last one is scheme used in a private sector. Okay, so we first learn a column reference scheme, then after grid reference scheme, and last one is scheme used in private sector. So we ready? Okay. Okay, so we are going to learn column reference scheme. Okay, it's so simple, you can understand easily, but here we have to provide some origin, like where to start. So some rules are here. So first we write rules here. Okay, first rule is naming for the column. For column. So for the column we can say there is a simple rules starting from top left corner, starting from top left corner. So we are going to numbering the column. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, top left corner, but here is a column reference scheme. We have to describe which direction is north. It's most important. So I can say here is this direction is north, right? Okay, so by the north we can say here is a left, this side is a left and this side is right. So numbering from the column is starting from the top left corner. So top left, here is a 1, here 2, 3 and 4. Now what? We starting a lettering from the top left corner, and after complete one line, then downward, then downward from left. Means your first row is completed. Yeah, first row is completed, number 4. Then after downward, number 5 from the right, left to the right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So column number is completed. Okay, the column number is completed. Now we are going to numbering a beam. We are going to numbering a beam. 4 column. For a beam, right? Let's move it. Yeah. So for a beam, we can name a beam by a B, I, J. I and J in the suffix. B is the capital A denoted as a beam, and I and J. Okay. For a beam, what is I and what is J? I is a column number. I is a column number. Which beam started? Which beam started? Okay. So I is a column number, so I can say here is a beam. Here is a beam. Okay, it's a beam. Beam column 1, so B1, and if its beam is starting from the, so there is direction from the left to right and up. I will explain it later. So how to write a beam? Okay. And what is J? J is equal to direction in which beam run. Direction in which beam runs. So here in direction we have a 2 direction. That is not a very hard. Direction is X direction and Y direction. For the X direction, number is 2 and Y direction number is 1. So here is a J is fixed 2 or 1. What is X and what is Y? Remember, here is axis, we can X and we can call this Y. But remember one thing, Y is always to the north. Y is always to the north, right? Okay, so we are starting the naming. But you can see here is a figure. We have a more than 3 types of beam. So here is the first B1 cube, because the starting point is J. Okay, 1 column 1, and direction is X. Direction is X to B2. Here is B2 2, B3 2. And here is a cantilever beam, so we cannot name it. It's a cantilever beam. Okay, so we cannot name this. And then here is a secondary beam. Okay, here this is the secondary beam, so this is a different formula for this. But here is a B5 to B6 to B7 to B9 to B10 to and B11 to. Okay, so here is a x direction beam naming is completed. So we are going to the y direction. So B91 starting point, B51, B101, B61, B111, B71, B121 and B81. Okay, so here is a naming of the beam for the main beams only, for the main beams only. So here we are going for the secondary beam, for secondary beam. Okay, for the secondary beam, same naming pattern, but there is a one is different. Secondary beam not column they have. At the secondary beam they don't have a column, so there is a no starting point for the column. So I is missing, J is missing, both missing. But here is a one condition: direction, y direction. Y direction have odd number. Y direction have odd number, like B15, B55, B101, B103, B93. There is nothing I, nothing J. There is a just odd number. There is no I, no J. Same for the X direction. Same for the X direction. Here is X direction. We have even number. Even number like B24, B26, B28, B100, B98, B34. Just even number. But one more, remember this thing: there is the last digit, not B1, not B1 or 2, because it's a secondary beam. Not 1, not a 2, last digit. Okay, so we are going to naming the secondary beam. First is X direction. X direction is an even number, so I can see B24, B26, B. Okay, there is a Y direction, odd number, B17, and here is a B19. So last one is a secondary number, secondary beam, but this is a cantilever beam. This two is a cantilever beam. Now we are going for the cantilever beam. Okay, so we write 4 cantilever beam. So for the cantilever beam, there is a I is a column number. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, it's A, not O. Okay, cantilever beam. So I is a column number. Okay, but J have a 4 value. J is equal to 1, J is equal to 2, J is equal to 3, and J is equal to 4. Why this? Why this? So 1 is called no column beyond north direction. Means there is a beam which is column in the south side but not the north side. Also same with second is no column beyond east side. Okay, no column beyond south and no column beyond west, right? Okay, so remember this four: one is north, second is east, third is south, and fourth is west. So let's write it here. Okay, I erase it. Okay, here is the north direction, is south, east, and here is west. So for the north direction, no column is 1, east is 2, south is 3rd, and west is 4. Okay, so here is the cantilever beam is east side no column, west side we have a column, east side no column. So B 4 2, B 8 2. Okay, here is a column reference scheme. Now for the slab, give a second. Okay, for slab, so slab we have write it like W S I J, W S I J. So W is called a live load. What we apply a live load on the slab in Newton per meter square. Okay, so first we apply a live load is 2 kilonewton per meter, but in the column grid line we write it down 2000 Newton per meter square, right? I is a category of slab. Category of slab can be described by a thickness. Okay, thickness of slab, reinforcement details, and most important reinforcement, spacing, and material. Okay, so category of the slab can be described after the designing. Okay, so in this design we don't design the structure, so we can assume 1 2 3 everything. Okay, in this example we cannot design a structure, we cannot have a time to design a slab, so I can call the category of slab is 1 2 or 3 anything. After a design I call this is the category 2 slab, this is the category 3 slab, right? And J is equal to types of slab. J is equal to type of slab. We have a two type of slab. First is a one way slab and second is a two-way slab, right? One way slab for the one and two-way slab is for the two, right? So let's start naming a slab. So here is a one-way slab, 2000 live load as category 2 1 because it's a one-way slab. Same thing here, 2000 as category 2 slab 1. Here I change a load. Here is a 3000 S to 1. 3000 category S 3 1. Here is a 3000 load S category 3, slab is 2A. 3000 S category 3, slab 2A. Here load is 2500 S category 2 1 load. Here is a 2000 S category 4 or 1 load. Right? Here is a 3000 load S category 1 load. Here is a 250 load S category 2 slab check 2A. So here is a column reference scheme is completed. Okay, you can see here is a column reference scheme. We have all nodes here. Now we are going to learn grid reference scheme. Give me some time, it will take some time for the open. Okay, here same grid I have. So we write down the name is grid reference scheme. Grid reference scheme. Assume there is one grid we have, so we can write down the grid reference scheme. But in this case we don't have a north and south. We have to describe the origin. Okay. In the grid reference scheme we have to describe origin. Okay, there is no north direction, no south direction. That is not important which direction is north, which direction is south. First we need a origin. So origin we assume as at lower left corner. Origin is at lower left corner. So I can assume origin is lower left corner. So here is called as origin. Left side, lower corner. Okay. So by this name, by this origin, we can start naming the grid. The column reference scheme, we started naming the column, but in the grid reference scheme, we giving the name to the grid. Okay. So vertical grid line, let's write it down here. Okay. From the origin, vertical grid line, naming as 1, 2, 3, and horizontal grid line, naming as A, B, and C. Means vertical grid line we gave a numbering, but horizontal grid line we gave a alphabet in a grid reference scheme. So write down vertical grid line. Here is a 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and there is a cantilever, right? Okay. There is no column here, so there's a grid line. Origin is starting from the origin A, B, B, C, and C. Right? So after the name the grid line completed, we have to give the name to the column. We have to provide a name to the column, right? So let's start. Column naming is simple, CINJ. So I is a horizontal grid line, and J is a vertical grid line. I is a horizontal grid line, J is a vertical grid line. So let's start. Okay. So first here is a column, horizontal grid line, CA1, CA2, CA3, CA4. Out of 5 here is a 4. Okay. Here CB1, CC1, CB2, CC2, CC3, CB3, CC4 and CB4. So column naming is completed by the grid reference scheme. Now we are going to naming the beam. Okay, there is a beam is simple, there is no secondary, no cantilever, nothing, just naming the beam. So beam mark as a BM1, BM2, BM3, nothing else. BM1, BM2, BM3 from starting from top left corner, then after downward right side, sequentially. Okay, downward right side sequentially. Okay, starting from top left corner, then downward and then right side. So let's start the naming. So here is the top left corner, starting point is top left corner. From downside means here BM1, BM2, then after right side there is no X and Y, so BM3, BM4, BM5, BM6, then after here BM7, BM8, BM9, BM10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. Okay, sorry, I forget to write a M. Always remember the right M in the greater reference scheme. Okay. So here is a beam name is completed. There is nothing simple rule. Simple rule is starting from the left corner downward, then right. There is no secondary, no cantilever, no different naming. Just follow the simple route. Right? Now we are going for the slab. Okay, we are going for the slab. Change the color. Yeah. Slab. Slab naming is SB1, SB2, SB3, SB4. Same rule for the beam as a slab. From top left corner, by the downward, then right side. Top left corner by the downward, then right side. So remit SB1, SB2, SB3, SB4, SB5, SB6, SB7, 8, 9 and SB10. So here is a grid reference scheme is completed. Like you can see all the naming is completed. Now we are going to learn scheme used in private sector. Write it down. Not here. Yes, it is. Scheme used in private sector. Okay, so all the scheme starting from the column. So here is a one more thing. Here is we have to assign a origin. We need the origin. The both grid reference scheme and private sector scheme, we have to assign first origin. Okay, here is the origin is not a fix. Like grid reference scheme origin is fixed from the left side to the lower, but here is origin not fixed. Is only fixed. There is origin at the left. This direction only fixed. There is not top, not bottom. You can provide it at the top, provide it origin at the bottom. Assume anything. Okay. Now where you origin assume, you have to name it by this. Okay. So here is origin is here. I assume origin from here. Okay. You can assume origin from here, but we don't have to origin like this. Okay. First, there is a two alternative version in the scheme used private sector, because origin is changed, the naming pattern is changed. Right. So first is going for the column. Column is marked as C1, C2, C3. Simple. C1, C2, C3, C4. Simple naming. Okay. Starting from origin. Okay. Starting from origin. Which we assume. Origin we assume. Okay. Right at top or lower. Origin we assume at the top from the left side. Starting from the origin. Then after moving rightward, moving right side and downward. Then after one row is completed, then go downward and starting a second row from left. Okay, starting the second row from the left. Okay, first row is completed, column. Let's start. Okay, C1, C2, C3, C4, then after C5, C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, C11 and C12. So column naming is completed. Simple. So simple, right? Simple rules. You have to remember some simple rules, okay? Then after starting for the beam. Okay. So beam is naming almost same as a column. B1, B2, B3, B4. Simple, okay? But here is a starting from the first column. Starting from first column. Starting from first column. And moving right side. Moving right side. Okay. Then downward. Downward. Moving. No, not moving. Here we can write. From left. Okay, these are for horizontal beam, means x direction beam. These are for the x direction beam. Now we have provided right vertical beams, right? Vertical beam, we have two direction beam, horizontal and vertical. Then after provide vertical beam starting from the bottom from left beam, from left side beam, moving upward, then moving right side. These are for vertical beam, like y direction. Okay, let's draw. So first we have to complete the horizontals. Okay, so here is a B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12 and B13. Okay, horizontal beam is completed. Now vertical beam from the left to the downside. So B13, then after B40, B50, then after moving right side, B60, B70, B80, B90, B20, B21, B22 and B23. So beam name is completed. Now we are going to naming a slab. Yeah, I can write here. Okay. So in the slab there is no criteria from the starting or ending. We can write a name S1, S2, S3. This naming is given by a group, given in a groups like equal span, okay, equal design, equal load, okay. And one more thing here assume, here not assume, if one way slab we have to draw this type of symbol in the slab, and if two-way slab we have to draw this type of symbol, right? Now we are going to naming a slab. There is no rules, there is no starting point, no ending point. I can call, here is a slab 1, right? S1, because all the slab design is same. Here is a S2, S2, S2. Here is a S3, here is a S4, S4, then here is a S5. So naming is completed. Now we are going to symbolize it. Okay, so S1 is a one-way slab, right? S4 is also one-way slab. Here remember one thing, draw this symbol as a shorter line, okay, shorter span, right, not a longer direction. And here is a 2A slab. Here is a structural layout for scheme using private sector is completed. You can see all the naming is completed. Okay, I hope you can understand this and learn all the data. Okay, so good to see you. In the next lecture we will calculate wind load on a building in a different topography. Till then, goodbye and keep learning.